All right, I'm going to break this down for you very simply when it's concerning the Eucharist and the importance of Holy Communion. And really, a lot of people are kind of headed back toward the original church because of their value. They valued this Eucharist the first 1,500 years of the church. So let me explain kind of how it works. All throughout the Bible, from the very beginning to the very end, it's all about eating and consuming, okay? I'll give you an example. The tree of life in the garden was consumed. Eat the tree of life, you consume it, you live forever. After Adam and Eve sinned, they were cast out of the garden, and an angel with a flaming sword was there to guard it because that was life at that point. Eve ate the fruit of good and evil. She consumed, she got that evil in her, and it became a part of her, and she got that knowledge. Passover meal in the Old Testament. Consume, eat. You're eating the Passover lamb, was representing eating the Christ. Sacrifices, when they would sacrifice bulls and goats in the Old Testament, they would eat that sacrifice meal afterward. Same way, Jesus feed the 5,000. When he fed the 5,000, he was putting his leaven, his doctrine in the bread, the doctrine of the Christ in the bread, and put it in them. They were consuming. It wasn't just a miracle of 5,000 people. It was consuming. They were consuming the doctrine of the Christ to become a part of them. Okay. Same way with the water and the wine. They drank the wine, the best wine for last. The forgiveness of sins. Consume. Drink the wine. And then again in Revelation 22:2. There's a tree of life in heaven that consumes 12 fruits. Those fruits are there for us to consume. Even Jesus says, I will not drink of this wine until we come into the fullness of his kingdom. So, there's a documentary out there which is pretty interesting. It's called King Corn. It's on Prime. You got to look it up. These guys did an experiment on because they thought corn was in so much prevalence in our diet. They took hair follicles, they put it under power, and saw corn in their DNA, right? Because if you can consume a lot of one thing, it becomes part of you, okay? So you probably heard the term, you are what you eat. So that's why concerning, even what it says in John, the book of John, and we'll look here in book John 6:57, it says, and the living Father has sent me to live I live by the Father, so that he that eateth me, even he shall live by me. He that eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood dwelleth in me, and I dwell in him. That means he's a part of us. When we consume the Eucharist, he becomes a part of you. Genetically, that's what transubstantiation is. We're not just eating bread and drinking